year. We actually partnered with a virtual reality studio not too long ago to recreate one of our partner schools in Haiti, all in VR through an immersive app. So we are in the playground this year. Please swing by the Hope for Haiti booth. Take a little virtual tour of Haiti. You can explore the school. You can write on the chalkboard. You can pump one of our clean water wells. Super fun. So I'm your fearless track lead for the day. We've got another fantastic session coming up. A few announcements I'm supposed to read. Visit the Snap Lounge, that's open all day. Also pop over to the Niantic Lounge. And my favorite part is the 6 p.m. welcome reception. Does everybody have their drink tickets? The snacks are always really good. And again, we're really building community. So it's really great to see everybody back here. All right, so our next session is Hyperlocal Imagination, how visual positioning systems are changing the landscape for audiences. And we have two great speakers that I'm going to kick it over to. We got Juha Lystila, and we've got Pablo Colapinto. So I'm just going to go ahead, bring you up, say anything more you want to say, and let's give a round of applause.
Thank you.
That's our emotional support robot. I'll tell you why it's relevant soon. But anyway, thank you all for coming. We're super happy when we have audience here. And what we're going to talk about today, with my friend Pablo here, is a hyperlocal imagination. But before that, I'm going to talk about a little bit about spatial computing. Some of you are familiar with the term. Spatial computing is basically, perceiving and creating your environment. You know what is the best spatial computer system out there today? Do you know who has it? Good, I see some people pointing their heads. That's correct. Your brain is a unique spatial computer. You can't survive with it. Actually, you would be just an amoeba floating in the sea, probably, because you have no sense of direction. And what we do is kind of bring that alive to computers and digital devices. Our platform do two things. There's kind of two key products there. One is the creation and management of spatial maps. You can pull up your iPhone and you can create a 3D digital copy of your environment anytime with Immersal VPS. Or you can use these real products, as you saw our pet walking around here. That is actually a 3D scanner, fully automated for industrial use. It can crawl mines, it can get down shaft, it can go large warehouses and all this stuff. So our platform, first of all, we support all kinds of mapping strategies, mapping technologies. We're kind of open that way. So what do we do with the map once we have the map created? And by the way, you own that map if you create it. We merge the digital world with the physical world. Humans do it very well because we can imagine and place things in our imaginations. There are a couple of situations where we do it even better, because when you start to imagine things on the other side of the city, it gets a little vague. But for us, we have infinite memory, and then our accuracy is down to about 2 centimeters on a platform. So all this enables kind of a next generation AR applications that can be placed on different levels. It can enable indoor navigation applications for both computers, robots, and AR applications. The interesting thing is that, let's see, I'm going forward. How does it work? It's pretty straightforward, but the devil's in the details as usual. So we offer SDK, a software plugin that's been ported to well, virtually every AR glass out there in the market. We support all smartphone platforms. And you, as a developer, can sign up on our developer portal, get a trial, and try our plugin to see how well it works. How does it work? It works very simple ways. So your device takes 1 or 2 photos and sends them back to our server. Once they're in the server matches that visual view of the photo with the 3D point cloud that has been processed earlier. And then it knows exactly where the device is in that space, in the 3D space, and also it knows where it's looking at. You need those 2 things to place objects in the real world. And then there are VPS providers. Google has the geospatial. They made a great announcement. I actually like it. It's pretty awesome. With their Google Maps, you can put games in the street and so on and so forth. There's a little bit of downside when you really want to build your own application. And let's say you are a large enterprise. I don't think Google's going to come in and map your warehouse, or they're not going to come and map your ballpark field, stadium, unless you pay a lot of money. I'm sure they will come then. And that's a kind of a downside. Also, you don't have any access to your map information or the data. It's very limited. You basically get the responsive localization back. We offer you the full access. So fundamentally what we try to do is create a very open platform, and where our platform focuses only on one thing, and it's to give you the most accurate, most precise localization of your environment through photogrammetry. We have different licensing models. We're happy to work with startups. We have multiple startups as customers. We can do events, or we can do even annual licensing, flat fee type of deal with you guys. And that's a kind of a flexibility we try to apply on every side of our technology. And we started back in 2015. The company is based in Finland, and our engineering is still there. I'm based here in Cupertino, and we also have Matthias, who's in Hong Kong. He will eventually relocate to Finland also. And we got acquired by Hexagon. It's a Swedish corporation, very large in terms of infrastructure, energy, and construction. But we're very independent. It's always great to be a startup guy with other people's money, so that's what we kind of are. So anyway, nothing's relevant without examples. And I'm so happy to pass this forward to Pablo. Nexus Studios, one of our partners, amazing stuff, you will see. Great example of what you can do and accomplish with VPS technologies. So, up to you, Pablo.
Thanks, Juha.
There you go.
You asked me to give a talk about some of our work, even work that we did without using Immersal VPS, to give an idea of how we think about this space. We are working on a very exciting project now with Immersal that we cannot discuss, but pay attention and you'll see something in a couple of months. But the work I'll show was made with other systems, and I want to talk a little bit about our thinking about it and how Nexus Studios approaches this opportunity space. We have companies that are excellent at focusing on a tool, and so how do we use that? What do we do with that? Nexus is a global creative studio working across animation, artful live action, and immersive to redefine the boundaries of entertainment. This is how we describe our work, and I want to talk about redefining the boundaries of entertainment a little bit more, because that's basically what we talk about. We work with a lot of people, and we have a lot of awards, so this is just so you can pay attention. Okay, so we say redefine the boundaries. Really, I think we should talk about removing the boundaries. Okay, let's talk about going out into the space, into the world, and content can be anywhere, which is a lot of what the vision is for AR and XR. I call it hyperlocal imagination. What does that really mean? And VPS unlocks that. And the idea is that inspiration can follow you wherever you go. You can find your audiences, you can give your audiences inspiration anywhere. That's what hyperlocal imagination is. That means stories that have context, that means characters that can go with you. It means the future of fandom, new cultural connections across space and time, new experiences and magic, right? That's what we're talking about. That's why we're all here. So how do we do that? 5-step process, 6-step process. I don't know the numbers, you know what I mean? Just like a little clickbait. So, okay, first thing is put the story in the right place. It sounds pat, but it's actually a really important point. In the beginning, there were QR codes, right? Like this is before VPS, you had a little localization marker, and we made, with Forestry England, we made the Gruffalo spotter, which allowed kids the fun of discovering magic. And there's a little bit of audio on this. Maybe we can just give a hint of audio just to give a flavor, thank you, of the magic for a discovery. So we want people to discover stories, maybe in unexpected places, or bring sort of imagination to life in a place that you might not expect it to be, like a forest. So this was, again, this was markers back in the day before VPS really existed. Okay, story, put the right story in the right place. All right, step 2. Bring characters with you as you travel around the world. So again, proto VPS, we built sort of infamous hot stepper wayfinder character that you just give him a destination and he'll guide you to wherever you wanted to go. You can crank up the audio on this one, it's kind of a little zanier British stuff. Okay, so then he goes to LA, and then music changes and roaming around. Yeah, so like the first wayfinding experience. This was again before VPS. We kind of home-rolled a GPS and custom solution. The shadows were cast by looking up the position of the sun, the time of day. Hot stepper. Okay, so we've got stories in the right place. We have characters that travel with you. Okay, step 3, go big. Okay, we're talking architectural scale. Don't get limited by your imagination. We want the true size of your passions captured at the true scale of your heroes. Okay, so this was VPS. This was another company that was acquired, I think since acquired by Meta, called Escape. And we built with Samsung and AT&T an experience to capture the true size, the true scale of the passions of fans as they went to the Dallas stadium. We were able to actually to localize against the field and create a game that you could play at halftime on the pitch. In fact, we have some drone footage that we shot that also works, so you could also make sort of anything be possible. And this was all a promotion of 5G at the time. Okay, step 3, go big. So we have stories in the right place. We have characters that travel with you. We want to do things at architectural scale. Don't be scared. Go big. And finally, connect with culture. Think about the past. Think about the future. What can you bring to life from before that maybe you couldn't? How can you take a venue and breathe new life into it? This is a project that we did with SK Telecom and Google Zoo. It was the beginning of Google Persistent Cloud Anchor. So we were, there's always some new technology involved in all of these projects. And for this, we went to Seoul, South Korea, and mapped 20 kilometers of Chandeok Palace and created a little story where you could turn the volume down on this because they're going to talk over otherwise. A little story of the Hachi, which is a mythical creature that comes to life and guides you through the palace grounds and sniffs out historical moments. And then you see volumetrically captured reenactments 5G streamed right in front of you. So you get to see the king and queen in court, you get to see the nightingale dance, and you get to follow this mythical creature as he travels through these very winding palace grounds. I think you'll see him in a second here. It's a rather long intro. Okay, that's Volcap. That's Volcap. Some archery sessions. There he is. He's coming to life. And you can sort of access previously inaccessible spaces of the palace grounds. Really complicated project. We had to put Google anchors, sort of like breadcrumbs throughout the palace grounds, and then do something called GPS punching to make sure they all share the same true north, because basically what you have is various local coordinate systems that all need to share a common coordinate system. That's if you want to travel long distances as you're doing this wayfinding. Okay, we're not done. We've put stories in the right place, we've brought characters with us, we've gone big, we've connected with culture from the past. Now we got to give all of the stuff that we've worked on away. Because really what's important is for everyone else to be doing this, not just one creative studio. So we partnered with Niantic to take Niantic's mapping solutions, the ARDK, and create the AR Voyage. This was launched 2 years ago at AWE, and we built that app, which is open source. You can download the source code and hack away at your own version of using all of Niantic's tools, including semantic segmentation and some of the other features, but also VPS. And you can download AR Voyage now too on Android and iOS. It still works on both. We also built something called Story Trails on the back of Niantic Tech, which allows communities throughout England to build their own narratives in space in their own neighborhoods. And we also partnered with Super Blue Studio and JR, our British artist, to create a public mural in AR. So you can contribute your image to this giant public mural that you sort of as a shared experience. Okay, but we do have to do one more thing. We have to put all of it together, right? Many of you probably have heard of Gorillas Presents, which is a project that we did at the end of last year. A really canonical piece. Why? Why is it so important? Why is everyone so excited about this project? Why did it win all these awards? It's VPS like the other ones, but what did it do, really? And the way I think about it is that it did all of the things I just mentioned, all at once. We have a storyline. The gorillas are kind of the original virtual storyline. It's also mixed in with your own story, people's own memories of their experience with the band. We obviously have characters. We built these, the gorillas are real. And we went very big. We went to Times Square and went to Piccadilly Circus in partnership with Google. And it was the launch of a new technology, Geospatial API, which puts the power in your hands to do this work. So it was an inspiration, because now you know you can do this. And you can capture the true scale of your passions. I have another point to make about it, which is that this activation, this experience, this moment, this canonical moment in XR, was part of a larger, one would call it a 360 campaign, or it was really, everything was happening all at once with the gorillas. At Nexus we call it the flower, but there was a music video we were making, there was out of home branding, there was social media. All this was happening around the same time, so the Gorillas Presents experience in Times Square in Piccadilly was kind of a culmination of a year of work across other exhibition strategies, including music videos, including experiential. So there was Cracker Island, there was Murdoch's Mixology Masterclass, which if you didn't see it, I definitely recommend you YouTube see this. This was a live stream of Murdoch making a Murdini over the holidays with his gnarly voice. Live puppeted. It's something else we do is real-time character animation. And also social content. So the world was sort of exploding with gorillas at the time. And then finally, Gorillas Presents, which actually turned into a music video in its own right. Here it is, this is the Piccadilly version of it. And here's a cut. We can turn this up a little bit. And then we took it to Coachella too, because why not? Okay, and that's a whole full music video that you can also watch. Okay, but we got to keep going. So we'll see what happens next. I think we actually have 5 minutes for questions. If there are any, and I'm sure that either of us would be happy to. Again, small plug for a very important project that we're doing next with Immersal. So thanks for the opportunity, Juha. And we have our first question. Yeah.
Thank you, Pablo. It's amazing to see all these examples, what you can do with the visual positioning and what you have done in the past. Great storytelling. Any questions from audience? Let us know.
Hi, my name is Jerome Morrison. I work for a company called Meow Wolf. We have some very large exhibitions. I'm seeing some nods so you know we are.
Familiar with Meow Wolf.
So yeah, that way I don't have to explain it because it's always very difficult. Well, I've done a lot of exploration of AR in our spaces over the last year or so. And a problem that I've been running into though has been the match of scale. Because we have an opportunity in our spaces to really have our guests activate those places with like lights and sounds in some really big epic ways. And we wanted to put that visual on top of it using AR. But it's hard to match the scale of looking both at the screen and then also like the lights, the sounds, the bigness that's in that space, and holding the attention both here on the screen but in the physical spaces. With a lot of the examples that I saw, they are like things that are big, but they're all just on the phone. I was wondering if any of those is the live space, maybe in that Gorillas, like they were actually playing the music, live, like along with that. But that's been a difficult barrier that I've been looking to traverse, is how to do both this in sync with our large activations, and it's really hard.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on to point out the disconnect, and I think that most true believers in this space know that the phones are just a segue to glasses. If I were to go to Meow Wolf, I would like to have a glasses experience personally. And I know that plug for Immersal, their tech works on eyewear. So maybe that's a way forward too. At the same time, a phone experience is still can be as inspirational. The memory of having something in your kitchen, like even if you saw it on your phone, it was there, and like the cognitive trick still works after the fact.
Right.
Your memory is still. I still remember jumping up and down the Gorillas in Times Square, even though it was on my phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One more.
One more quick one, because I've been told we gotta wrap up. Fine.
Okay, cool. My name is Erin Bex. I always ask these questions about these huge brand activations. What does the ROI look like, and do you have any specific metrics you can share with us, including maximum number of users at any given time?
I don't know the number of users of the Gorillas project, but it was pretty high. I'm happy to share that with you, though, if you send me an email.
Or you can come talk to us on session.
I think ROI is also just adoption in general, and building a community around it.
The market looks very positive for this and the next year in terms of investments in AR content. That's just purely from my perspective and the interest of our customers. Thank you.
Well, I hate to cut this off because this was so good, and I know we could have continued the conversation, but please let's give a huge round of applause. All right, and with that, it is officially